Hello, my name is Callista and welcome to another video update. Today's is a rather special one. On the 1st of June, the KallistaPlays channel turned 4 years old, and as you can see, this was the year that we reached 1,000 subscribers. I'm over the moon. I really am over the moon. I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about that later on, but first things first, thank you so much. Thank you so much to old subscribers, to new subscribers. Thank you all. Much love to all of you. I'm chuffed. I'm completely chuffed. And to toast this success, of course, I will be trying cider. Today we have, I can't pronounce this, it's Swedish. It is Rekordlig. I'm so sorry, Swedish people. Rekordlig premium Swedish cider. This is mango and raspberry flavour. Never tried this before. It has a very strong alcohol scent. I think a lot of the ciders I have, you tend to smell the flavouring before the alcohol. No, this is, you can definitely smell. You can smell the alcohol, and then the next strongest scent is the mango. Now, I do love mango. Mango is one of my favourite fruits. There we go. So, yeah. Cheers. Oh. Well, hello there. I'm trying to figure out if I can taste the raspberry. It's there, very slightly though. I think it is mostly like a mango flavour. Very nice. Made from pure Swedish spring water. And it's gluten-free and vegan. How lovely. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I'd gladly have this again. Excellent. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so the state of the channel. This time last year I had 55 Let's Plays on the channel and 52 were complete. We now have 63 on the channel with 60 complete, so that is 8 Let's Plays completed over the last year. The previous year I managed to do 14. Again, I focused on some longer games. We had Mass Effect 1 and 2, we've had Danganronpa V3, just a lot of much longer games. So again, it does explain why we only had 8. I like to try and complete as many games as I can. I always want new games on the channel. I want to try new things. I want to experience new games. But still, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with 8 Let's Plays completed. Now then, my channel goals, they were to maintain my schedule and to reach 1,000 subs. Now, I have to talk about the subs first. I have to talk about that. I reached my goal on the 14th of May. Now, that is my birthday. Now, according to vidIQ, I actually got 1,000 subs on the 13th, but when I look at YouTube, it says I reached it on the 14th. So I'm going to assume there's like a kind of time zone difference, and vidIQ is maybe taking the American time. I'm going to take what YouTube tells me. It really was the best birthday present I ever could have asked for. So I just want to say a massive thank you to old subscribers, to new subscribers. Just thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button and coming with me on this journey. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. When I first made this channel, I had a plan, and I don't want to say that I didn't think I could do it, because, you know, why make a plan if you think you're not going to achieve it? But I wanted to reach 100 subs by the end of year 1, 250 by the end of year 2, 500 by the end of year 3, and 1,000 by the end of year 4. And my partner at the time, when I told him that, I remember him telling me, "You're never gonna do that." And he wasn't saying that to be cruel or unkind. I think he was just trying to temper my expectations, because, you know, I make Let's Plays. That is very long form content. It is a massive time sink, not just for me, but for you at home. And he himself actually had a Let's Play channel. He'd been doing it for like 5 years, and I don't think he ever reached 60 subs. So he wasn't saying like, "Oh, you're not going to do that," to be cruel. He was just saying like, "Listen, like, Let's Play channels, they're kind of a slow burn. You're probably not going to be able to achieve that." I ended up getting around, I think, 93 by the end of year 1. So it was it was rather vilifying, you know, like, oh, maybe I can do this. And so the fact that I actually met that, I stayed on schedule. At the time of this recording, I'm at 1,030 subs. You know, I'm so happy. I am so happy. When I got the email saying, hey, Kallista, you're monetized, congratulations, it was wonderful. It was such a wonderful feeling. And then on the 16th of May, I got an email that my channel was then demonetized. Things can never run smoothly. Things can never, ever run smoothly, can they? I have to drink when I think back to this. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. 4 years of work. And then YouTube, you're like, oh yeah, you can be monetized for a day. And not anymore. In case you're curious, so YouTube demonetized my channel on the grounds of reused content. Apparently all of my content is from someone else's channel, you know. I think, logically, I think what happened, I've played a lot of very popular games. There are gonna be thousands of Mass Effect Let's Plays, Dragon Age Let's Plays, Life is Strange, The Walking Dead, Danganronpa. I reckon what happened was that some automated system picked up on the game audio, and obviously that is going to match up to a bunch of different channels. And so this system thought, oh, she's using reused content, demonetize it. Now, you can appeal these things, and on appeal, you are guaranteed to have your channel looked over by an actual human. It's not going to be some automated system. A real life person will watch your appeal video and look over your channel. And I am very happy to say, I sent in my appeal. Now, normally it can take about 14 days for you to get a response. However, it tends to be closer to 2 to 5. Within 6 hours, real prompt service, extremely prompt. Within 6 hours, I got the email back saying, hey, your account is remonetized. We're very sorry for all of this. We acknowledge that your content is your own. Have that monetization back. I was so concerned. I was so worried because I don't talk during cutscenes. That is something I don't ever want to do. I want the game to, like, one, I want to pay attention. I don't want to be narrating stuff and missing things because I'm too focused on talking. I want to pay attention to what is going on, and two, I think that would be rather annoying. Like, let's say we're playing some kind of war game, and, you know, like, oh, the commander's been shot. Oh no, commander, you're gonna get it. Sarge, no, I'm not going on. Tell my wife and kid you're their new daddy now. No, commander, no, I'm going, Sarge. I see the light. No, like, you have this beautiful scene. I don't want to hear, oh no, the commander's dead. Oh, bloody hell, he's been shot. Oh, he's saying he wants the Sarge to be his wife and kid's new dad. Always, and that's what he always dead. He's dead. F's in chat for the commander. Bloody hell. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that over cutscenes. I want them to stand on their own 2 feet. I want to experience them as the game designers intended. So I was absolutely petrified that they were going to reject the appeal, and the advice was going to be, you need to start talking over the cutscenes, because that way the algorithm won't think like, oh, is this from someone else's channel? Like, if I'm speaking over it, then surely these systems will detect, oh, there's a voice we haven't heard elsewhere. I was so concerned. I don't want to talk over the cutscenes. So the fact that my appeal was accepted, I'm just like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. It was such a relief. Like I said, it was 4 years of work, and then just being demonetized like that. It was very demotivating. It was very upsetting. So I'm just so glad that it only took 6 hours for them to get back to me and say, you know what, go for it. You're good. It was, like I said, just cheers. Cheers to a prompt service. Delicious. And then the other goal that I always set for myself, maintaining my schedule. Yeah, I did not do that. I did not do that. Earlier on this year, about, I want to say it was about a month ago, I had to take a bit of a break. Things were not so good for me, personally. I always kind of do a little personal update at the end, so I'll leave the specifics till then, but yeah, on a personal level, I wasn't doing so great. Just life got in the way. Life got in the way in quite a major way. We had a death in the family, and my dad had to get some tests done. Like I said, I'll go a bit more into that later, but yeah, I needed to take a break. Things just got really on top of me, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't carry on. I felt very rejuvenated after the break. After I'd kind of sat down and calmed down, built up a little bit of a backlog, I felt so much better. That break, it was necessary. It was absolutely necessary. Future goals. I always like to do a future goal. Again, maintain my schedule to the best of my ability. That's kind of a permanent one. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for sub goals. Like, really, I had only kind of mapped out to 1,000 subs. And then after that, it was just kind of like a big old question mark. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do after this. I don't want to say I want to reach 2,000 subs by this time next year. I think that's a bit much. We'll go for 1,500. I think that's good, another 500 by this time next year. There we go. I'm blaming the cider. I always blame the cider for my tongue fumbles. And it's hot. It's hot in this back room. It always is. But yeah, I think that's what I want for this time next year. 1,500 subs. And now on to the Let's Plays. What are we currently playing on the channel? So the primary Let's Play is Mass Effect 3, and I am absolutely loving it. Mass Effect 3 is a breath of fresh air, especially after the disappointment that was Mass Effect 2. It's funny, I know this guy who absolutely loves the Mass Effect trilogy. It is his favourite game series of all time. He is obsessed with it. And if you ask him how many games are in the Mass Effect trilogy, he says 2. And he outright said to me, whatever you do, don't play the third game. Play the first one, play the second one, and then don't play the third, because the third one is absolute garbage, it's trash, you'll hate it, don't play it. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to him, because ending this series with Mass Effect 2 would have been oh my god. It would have been such a bummer. It would have been such an immense disappointment. Mass Effect 2, no. Just no. I think that would be my description. Mass Effect 2. Just no. I didn't I enjoyed playing it through the first time. However, at the end of it, I was just kind of like, oh, is that it? Like, it's exactly the type of game that I can't replay. Because the sole reason why I enjoyed it on a first playthrough is because I was still like, well, where is this going? I know there's only an hour left, but this last hour, this last 30 minutes, this last 10 minutes, this last 5 minutes, this last minute might redeem the entire game. I held out hope until literally I had done everything, and then I could go, okay, yeah, nothing redeemed this. Nothing redeemed this. There is absolutely no reason for me to replay this, because it's just not for me. If you loved Mass Effect 2, that is completely fair. I'm not saying like, oh, Mass Effect 2 is shit and everyone should think that. Like, if you love Mass Effect 2, that's great. I'm happy for you. I just didn't. It really did not do it for me. And ending the series there would have sucked. Mass Effect 3, I'm loving it. I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm enjoying Mass Effect 3 more than I enjoyed Mass Effect 1. I think with Mass Effect 1, I loved the ending. I absolutely loved the ending. And I loved every single main mission. And the bits in between, they were really good too. But I didn't feel... How do I put this? I think Mass Effect 3, I feel very emotionally invested. And that's not to say I wasn't emotionally invested in Mass Effect 1, but it feels real almost. It feels like people are dying, things are really dire, and we need to be on it. We need to get shit done so that we can save the galaxy. People depend on us. Think on the small boy, think on the little kid who died at the beginning, like think about him. And you know, it feels. And Mass Effect 1, I don't think I ever really felt that. I can't explain it. I can't explain it because I had a really good time, but I think on some level it just felt a bit like Shepard dicking about. You know, like, oh, we're going over here, and then we're going over here, and then we're going over here. It never really felt like, okay, we're on a time crunch here. We are on a time crunch. People are dying as we speak. But now the Reapers are here. The Reapers are here, and shit's going down. And I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving Mass Effect 3. Once we get done with that, we will be playing Near Replicant, then Pillars of Eternity and Greedfall. I'm looking forward to all of that. The secondary LP, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, hands down my favourite game in the Danganronpa franchise. V3 it's amazing. It's amazing. I've loved how difficult the mysteries have been. I've had such a good time with V3. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm on the class trial of chapter 5. It's confusing as hell. I am spending that trial in a state of semi-constant confusion. And again, I'm loving it. It is... I think the only thing I have for V3 is praise. The only thing... Well, actually, no. There's something I would not praise, but we shall not talk about him. We shall focus on the positives. I'm really enjoying V3. I will say I am looking forward to finishing it. Again, not because I'm not enjoying it, but because I've been playing the Danganronpa games for about 3 years now, and I do feel quite Danganronpa'd out. I think I said this in my last video update, or the one from the year before. I remember saying I feel very Danganronpa'd out. I feel really rather burnt out by the series. I'm enjoying the game, but I'm kind of like, I want to play other things. I want to play other genres. And speaking of which, once we are done with Danganronpa V3, we will be moving on to Life is Strange True Colors. Now that's been established for a while. I've been playing a Danganronpa game and then a Life is Strange game. And then after that, we will be journeying into A Plague Tale, both the first and second game, and Senua's Sacrifice. Again, I'm looking forward to these games. I'm looking forward to them. I'm expecting them to be emotional. I hope they're emotional. I want to cry. I want to suffer on an emotional level. That's what I'm looking for with A Plague Tale and Senua's Sacrifice. And then the weekend Let's Play, we are currently playing Pentiment. I'm still quite early on in that. I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking the art style and the way that the different scripts are done. It's really beautiful. Pentiment is a really beautiful game. I haven't gotten to the mystery yet. That's what I'm looking forward to. It is a mystery kind of genre. You investigate murders in the 1700s, or is it the 1600s? One of the two. So I'm really looking forward to when we get to the murders. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. It's got RPG elements with how you build up Andreas, the things he knows. I'm loving it. Yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying all 3 games that I'm Let's Playing currently. It's good. It's really good. And now the personal update, to which I will take a swig of this before I get started. Okay. So it's funny. The past few years, things external to me have been really good, but within myself, I felt quite bad, and I can't explain why. I think you get that way sometimes. No one can be happy 100% of the time, and quite frankly, being happy 100% of the time, that sounds awful. That sounds like torture to me. No, thank you. But just within myself, I felt off. I felt wrong. But at the beginning of 2024, I don't know what it was. I personally think it's because I was manifesting crackhead energy. I successfully manifested crackhead energy, and that realigned me. And I started off this year being like, you know what? life is great. The sky is blue, the sun is shining, the birds are tweeting, things are great, and this year is going to be great too. I felt, I was with it, I was on it. And then external forces said, oh, Callista, oh, no. I want to say it was late March, I believe, my uncle passed away. And he passed away very unexpectedly. It was... In a way, I would say it was tougher than when my grandmother died. My grandmother died a few years ago. My grandmother was not a particularly well woman. And anytime, we heard, oh, she's got such a thing, she's got this, she's got that, we always prepared ourselves. We were always like, is this going to take her out? Is this going to do it? She was not a well woman. My uncle, on the other hand, he was vivacious. He lived life to the fullest. He loved a drink, he loved his motorbike, he loved to smoke. And you would think, with all of that, you would think he would not be in the best of health. But no, he was actually, considering the life he had led, very healthy. And he wasn't particularly old. He was not an old man at all. And he just kind of passed away very, very unexpectedly. I don't want to get too into it because how do I put this? I will happily talk about the circumstances surrounding my grandmother's death because my grandmother only had 2 descendants, me and my mum. My uncle, technically speaking, he wasn't even my uncle. He was my second cousin, I think. Yeah, he and my mum were cousins. They were cousins, so that would make him my second cousin. I call him my uncle because for a few years he and my mum were basically raised as siblings, and I don't mean that in like a oosh, keep it secret. I don't mean it was like scandalous. It's just that I think his family couldn't necessarily afford that number of people in the house, so they sent him to live with my mum and her family. And he lived with them for a few years, and he was like 7, so like old enough to know like this is not my sibling, this is my auntie, and old enough to know all that. However, he lived with her for a fair few years, and because of that they developed more of a sibling bond than a cousin bond. So he was basically a brother. He's basically my uncle. So my grandmother, she only had the 2 descendants, me and my mum. My uncle, he had many children, they had many grandchildren. I'm not a direct descendant. I don't necessarily feel comfortable getting into the nitty-gritty behind his passing, but it was very sudden, very unexpected, and kind of strange in a way that you kind of think about it late at night. You're kind of like, that's not right. And again, I'm not indicating that he was murdered or out like that. I don't mean it like that. It's just like clearly he was thinking something immediately before he went, and it's just kind of like, why? Strangeness that kind of makes you stick on it. That's kind of the circumstances surrounding his death. And it was, again, he was so alive, he was so lively and there, and it's just the fact that he isn't. It's weird. It's weird. It is something that none of us were prepared for, not yet. And it was a bugger. We couldn't have the funeral immediately because he had the great misfortune to die at a time where undertakers are remarkably busy. So we had to wait a while before we could have the funeral. And then this was the thing that got me. In, I think it was April, my dad had to go in for some tests at the hospital. He was concerned that he had cancer. And now my dad he's a smart man. He noticed that something was wrong and he immediately went to get it checked out, which is what you should do. If you think that something is wrong, go to your doctor, kick up a fuss, advocate for yourself, make sure that you are seen and heard, like get that shit sorted. And that is exactly what he did. Now, I love the NHS. I am so glad that I live in a country with free healthcare. The NHS is messy though. The NHS is very, very messy because Yeah, you have to laugh. You have to laugh about this. My dad, so he went in for some tests, and it turns out that they'd done the tests in the wrong order. So what these tests did show was that if he did have cancer, it was very low grade and it hadn't spread. But that was if he had cancer. The test didn't show whether or not it was cancer. So then he had to go back, do another test that would actually show, like, is it cancer or is it not? And, you know, like, thank the Lord, it wasn't cancer. It wasn't cancer, it was something else. And something far more benign. And just, we're so grateful. We are so dear. Cheers to my father's health. May he have many more years left in him. He better have many more years left in him. I refuse. He is not allowed. He is not allowed to die anytime soon. I refuse it. So yeah, we were. It was such a relief, but just as I said, you know, you wait for the initial test, and it's the waiting. The waiting is the worst part of it. The waiting is the worst part of it. Because you don't know, you don't have any kind of clarity or information, and it sucks. And then we get the test results back, and it turns out we did them in the wrong order. Whoops! Like, it's just, like I said, you have to laugh. You have to find that funny. You have to. But yeah, it was just such a bad few months there, and like I said, it's so funny. In a way, funny ironic, not funny haha. Just within myself, I felt really good, but external forces have kind of been conspiring when all these past years, it's been the exact opposite. External forces are saying, go for it, you've got it, you know, good job. And internally, I've just been like, please, no, I can't. And then it just swaps. It swaps. You can never have it be like, oh, I'm feeling good within myself, and the universe is also showing me good side. No, it has to be the universe is dodgy and you are good, or the universe is good and you are dodgy. You can't have it. You can't have everything be good. Speaking of myself, I think I've been doing really good. I've been working on myself, on my physical health. We have put the exercise bike together. This is Nora. Say hello Nora. She does good work. I try and use her for about 45 minutes every day. Sometimes I might only manage 30, sometimes I might only manage 15, but I always like to do something. I always like to do something every day, and I do think that increasing my what would you call that? You know, physical productivity. I do think that that's had a positive effect on my mental health. Yeah, I've just been focusing on me. I think it's been, again, it's odd. It's odd. I'm feeling good within myself, and I do think that, you know, now that we have the you know, test results back, we know that my dad is fine. Fingers crossed that no one else in the family dies. That would be that would be awful, because everyone is pretty young. Everyone is pretty young in my family. I think if we're going off of age, that would be my dad. My dad is probably one of the older members of the family, and as I said before, he's not allowed to die yet. He's not allowed. Yeah, I think as long as nothing else negative happens with my family, I think that the rest of this year is going to be pretty decent. I hope. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've said everything I want to say. Again, a massive thank you. Much love to everyone who has subscribed, to everyone who has helped me reach 1,000 subs. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Here's a toast to yourselves. Glorious. And yeah, I think I'm gonna bring this video update to a close. I hope you all have a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.